Hey, everybody, welcome to Office Hours. Welcome. Happy Thursday. A rare Thursday edition of Office Hours due to some scheduling changes for some travel. But here we are. Welcome to Office Hours. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. We'll get the show on the road. Office Hours, for anybody who is new here, Office Hours is pure Q&A. So I don't have an agenda for you other than to try to help you out. And so you can fire in any questions that you have into the comments. And I'm also going to post an invite link for anybody who wants to join me on camera. So if you have anything that is longer, more complex, needs more back and forth discussion, maybe need to share a screen, anything like that, we'll have that link as well so we can do that. Otherwise, you can just post your questions in the comments and I will go through them. And I'm also going to look in our online community for any questions there. Looks like you can see me and hear me okay. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, Carlos. Welcome, Jonah. Welcome, Chris. Awesome. Welcome, Clayton from Louisiana. Awesome. Thank you. Happy New Year. Russell, welcome. Awesome, Mark. Thank you. Kai, there you go, my man. Where's that backdoor link? I got it for you. It's coming. Hold on one second. Welcome, everybody. And again, thank you for flexibility on schedule here. Got some travel that I'm doing and some other commitments and things like that. So needed to move this to Thursday this week, rather than our normal Friday time. There's a decent amount of that coming up here. These next few months tend to be months that I travel a lot. There'll be some moving around. Some of these office hours calls are going to happen on Wednesdays, some of them on Thursdays. So just keeping you on your toes and appreciate your flexibility. Okay. Let's see here. Let's jump right into it. Carlos says, aloha, mates. Aloha, Carlos. My question is regarding how High Level handles foreign telephone numbers since my base clients are both in Portugal and Brazil. Carlos, really, so High Level's phone infrastructure, you can just think of it as mimicking Twilio's phone infrastructure. So if you look at Twilio and you look at where they have phone numbers and where they provide services, then you can essentially get phone numbers and have services provided anywhere that Twilio provides there. So if I just do Twilio countries, I'll just do a quick Google search here and let's just see what we find. I'll do a quick share of my screen and we'll see what comes up. So coverage worldwide, local and telephone phone numbers, verify countries and regions deliverability. So it looks like, that is how to do verification from a software perspective. Let's see here. Voice coverage. Okay, so you can look at right here, this Twilio, and I'll go ahead and put this in the chat, but it looks like you can pretty quickly poke around and see the map of service coverage for Twilio. And then you can determine if it's going to be a good fit for you. My guess, though, is that you're going to be just fine in both Portugal and Brazil, because those are definitely markets that I think that are important to High Level and that they are, working to. And that particular link, I apologize, it doesn't look like the best link to be able to see the actual coverage. It just says that they have coverage. So might have to do a little bit more searching around here to find this, but I can recall many times being able to find a list of specific countries where Twilio is operating, where they had local numbers. And so I know with just a little bit of poking around, you're going to be able to find that as well. What countries does Twilio offer local numbers? So toll-free numbers in Brazil, mobile SMS numbers in Portugal, US and Canada. Again, I would just dig around on this a little bit more though and make sure and look it up. And then also just contact high level. Just ask their support because they're going to have the most original. I mean, they're going to have the most, up to date list, Carlos, of where things are available and what the limitations are and things like that. So my original client's number is reachable by high level. Yeah, absolutely. If you're asking, can you can contact any number anywhere in the world through your services in high level. There are countries that you can choose in your settings to block certain countries and things like that. Like I have certain countries blocked. And then obviously there are certain countries around the world that have, more strict limitations on whether or not you can send text messages and stuff like that. So there are limitations, but those limitations are limitations not just to high level, they're limitations to anybody who's following the law. So I hope that helps, Carlos. And again, I think if you dig around on Twilio's map, you contact high level, start a trial with high level, and then you can just get inside of the number acquisition system inside of your account and pull numbers and test things. Tests is always the best answer. That's where you're going to get the most up-to-date information. Okay. But I hope that helps you. Awesome, Meredith. Good to see you. Welcome. Robert says, just watch your video on free website offers. Is there any training in regards to the best way tactics to upsell? Yeah, Robert. So I have, I have a whole approach that I teach to upselling from any foot in the door offer. So I can't recall if I have a specific upsell script from the website, but I honestly, I think upselling from the website is quite possibly the easiest thing to upsell from. But let me just generally teach you the approach that I advocate. Okay. So the approach when you're selling any foot in the door offer, you want to have success with that foot in the door offer first, right? Nobody wants to be sold, that they're getting a free website to immediately start being upsold, right? It feels like a bait and switch. It feels like, I knew this was too good to be true. That's not to say that you can't have offers during that free website pitch. So as an example, I talked about this in the video. I can do a free website pitch and I can say, hey, and if you'd like to prepay for the hosting for the year, and then just be honest, right? Just be honest and tell them, here's why we're making that offer. It's good for us to get some cash up front since we are doing all this work up front. And in exchange, we give you a discount if that makes sense for you financially to prepay for the year. Awesome. It's a win for you. It's a win for us. Right? Then it doesn't feel like a bait and switch. It's just, hey, you're going to have to pay for hosting anyway. Right? You can also have very clearly upfront, and actually, let me show you one of my favorite sites that I think does a nice job in how they have positioned some of this stuff. If you look at this site right here, Restaurant Engine. So these guys, they're not necessarily making the exact same offer that I would suggest, but they are doing a real nice job of a very similar offer. So elevate your restaurant's online presence, effortlessly attract more diners. How it works. Your new all-inclusive website launched by this weekend. Don't spend thousands or wait months to finish. So this is just a very direct offer of, hey, here's what we do is we give restaurants websites and we do it very affordably, very quickly. Okay. Now, again, this is not a free website offer, but you could absolutely mimic everything in here, but make it a free website offer, and that would work. And then you can see here that they have these, features and options, SEO and social tools, make your own updates, right? So they're essentially selling that, there are some other tools and that there is a website builder that you can use. And then you can see plus these features, and they have online ordering, food trucks, integrate anything. So they're giving upfront, hey, there are some options there. There's the base website, But then if you wanted to add online ordering, you could. And these guys used to have their pricing right here on the site. It looks like they've done away with that, which is disappointing. I think they should have their website, their pricing right on the site. I think it's an advantage. But anyway, so in that offer, let's say you're making a free website offer to restaurants. You can say, hey, our free website includes all these incredible things. It's 7 pages. It's got integration with maps. It's got all this blah, 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 right? All the standard stuff. And then some of our restaurants want online ordering. That is an upsell, but we can integrate online ordering into your website as well. That's optional. So that kind of upsell, if you will, during the initial pitch makes sense. It's not that you're trying to sell me something different. You're just giving me some options that I may want. As long as that base deliverable, so the base website that you're giving for free, is a really solid deliverable. What you don't want to do is say, hey, we're giving you a free website. And then when they come to get the free website, it's like, oh, you want your logo on the website? Oh, that's $500. Well, wait a minute, damn it. It's not a website for my business if I can't have my logo on there. So then it feels like a bait and switch. Okay. So you got to use your judgment there. But then deliver that website, deliver it successfully. I recommend that with that website, as I said in that video, that you include some of the features of high level in that $97 a month fee. So you could say it's $97 a month. You also get free use of our CRM, of our universal inbox, of our AI chat, of our, whatever. You could list all these things that they could get. And it's $97 worth of credit towards those services. And then if you decide to use those beyond that those credits, then you'll pay these rates, right? So you could bundle in a bunch of those features and then let the upsell just take care of itself. If they decide to use those features and keep using those features and use them at a volume where they're using up their credits, the upsell just happens naturally, right? This is one of the beautiful things I love about high level and their credit capability is that I could sell you something for $97 and just give you $97 worth of credit as well. I have markup on all of those services. So even though I'm giving you $97 in credit, it's only costing me, let's say I mark it up 3-to-1. So it's costing me $31, $32. So for $32 in cost, I'm giving you $97 in credit. Then you benefit from that and you use that and you continue to use that. And now because of the volume of usage, you're now paying $147 a month, $197 a month, but you're getting the benefit of that usage. You're seeing this benefit your business. And so as it's benefiting your business more, you're paying more. That's a great upsell. It just happens naturally. But let's also say that you take a different approach, or you want to sell. What you want to sell is, I want to sell Mike. I want to sell my social media management services and my ad services and all that. Cool. So what you do is deliver that website, nail it. And then once you have delivered that website, you do a walkthrough with a customer. Hey, here's your beautiful new website. It's fantastic, crushing it. This is, your site's optimized now. It's got all these wonderful things. The customer is happy. They're thrilled that they just got a free website. And you say, while I have you here, do you mind if I take a few minutes to talk to you about our other services that we can integrate with this website to really help you market your business? The majority of your customers, because they're happy now, you just gave them this amazing website, are going to say, yeah, sure. And you just have the rest of your pitch. Well, in addition to websites, what we do for small businesses like yours is we do these core capabilities. You're currently paying $97 a month. For just $100 more or $200 more a month, you get all of these things. A percentage of your customers, small percentage, are going to go, yeah, that all sounds amazing. Give me that. It's going to be a small percentage, right? Another decent percentage, though, over the next 30 to 45 days is going to take you up on that because you continue to follow up. There's a bunch of people that you give that pitch for the first time and they're like, cool. Yeah. Okay. Some of that sounds interesting. Let us evaluate it. Let's talk to our team. And you're going to have the sales process that's going to take the next 30 days, whatever it is, typical, right? And then another percentage of those customers are going to say no. The majority of them are going to say no. You're going to continue just following up with them with your marketing, just like you do any other prospect or customer, and continue to make offers to upsell. And over time, a growing percentage of those are going to take you up on these offers. So that to me is the way to do it. It's important. It's incredibly important that in that first deliverable, they don't feel like they're getting a bait and switch. And then second, it's incredibly important that you deliver a really good first experience first. Then you have earned the right to move on to the upsell. Okay. And it should be simple. Hey, a website is a very important feature of a complete marketing system for a small business. Here are the other features and capabilities that the best businesses use. We can provide those for you. Let me tell you how. Right? It's just a very natural conversation. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Robert. Bob says, going through the training now, is ConvertBox still your recommendation? Bob, I still really like ConvertBox. If you are a high-level customer, though, you can now do really, in my opinion, just about anything that you're going to do with ConvertBox, you can just do with high level. They have their pop-up forms and stuff now, so I am rarely using ConvertBox anymore because I'm just using high levels capabilities. I pressed on Sean at high level for a good 18 months for him to build the features of ConvertBox that I wanted into high level, and they did it. So Clayton says, is there a way to sync my email inbox within the conversations tab? I'd like all my emails to show up in high level. Clayton, no, you can't do that. You can't sync all of your emails. You are going to get the email that comes in response to an email sent from high level. So if you're sending your email from a high level, if you look at it in your inbox, you're going to see it's just like any CRM system, it's got the code on the front of the email. It's not like it's not an email that's really coming directly from your domain. So it's got the little code on it. That code tells the system, hey, when somebody responds to that email, put it back into the CRM system because it's part of this marketing, right? So that's how it ends up there. So no, like just the general newsletters you subscribe to in your email and the emails you're sending back and forth to friends and things like that directly from your Gmail inbox or whatever. No, they're not going to show up in high level. Now, is there a way to sync my email? The answer to that, Clayton, I should say is yes. Is there a way? Sure, there is a way. Right? It's technology. Anybody can do anything with it if they put their mind to it. There's somebody out there that's probably hacked together something that I don't know about, but that's not like a native capability of the high level system. Okay. So here we go. So there you have it. Ben just proved my point. There's some native, there's some sync that you can do that's going to make it work. And can this be done with a GoDaddy email? No clue. Carlos again, can my client load, transfer up their CRM data into their contacts tab? Yes. Yes, absolutely. You can upload your CRM data in there. Yep. And I think high levels support is actually really good, Carlos. You got to understand they are growing like crazy. So they're adding people like crazy. So sometimes you got to poke around a little bit to get things escalated. But I think generally they do a nice job. All right, Kai, my man. Ready to join me? Let's do it. How's it going, sir? Oop, hold on. Say something.
It's because I have my mic muted. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
Cool, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good, dude. Every time I come on here, man, I look so orange, dude. I don't know if I have like a weird filter on here, but I look like I just got like a gnarly tanning bed. It's so weird. It's like,
I don't
do you
think
like
it looks
that?
gnarly. It looks healthy.
Maybe,
No,
maybe
you
it's just
look
my
good.
screen. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, dude, everything's going super well. I shot you a text the other day. I was like, holy shit, man. You've been so helpful. So I really appreciate that. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah, we're at like 100, I think like 130 active clients. So we're killing it. And
Congrats,
then
man.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm just getting a little bit like, I'm honestly getting a little bit burnt out on like the sales side of things. So I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to talk to you about like, I hired I have a fulfillment VA who's doing like, I don't touch any of the client accounts. They're all getting set up for me.
Awesome.
Um, and then I have a full-time customer success manager he's freaking killing it. Like he's absolutely he's one of my buddies
Awesome.
from high school. I was kind of worried about
Sweet.
hiring him, but he's absolutely killing it. Um, so all the customer service side of things is pretty much handled. The delivery is handled. The only thing that's left now is the sales and marketing. And I'm just wondering, what does it look like to replace myself as a sales and marketer? Right now, the leads that are coming in, I'm paying like 35 to 40 bucks per lead. There's quite a bit of friction. They have to go to a
Mhm.
landing page and then like, a classic book a call funnel. I know I could be getting way cheaper leads for like 10, 12 bucks just running like lead formats, but I'm burnt out, man. I can't sit here and call these freaking contractors all day. So
Yeah.
what does it look like to replace myself? Do I go the classic setter closer model? I think it'd be better just to have a salesperson with selling low ticket. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a couple of things. I think one, from just replacing sales and marketing,
Mm,
from you as the founder is, uh it, I would say it's always kind of the riskiest proposition, um, because you are the engine of the energy of the company that creates sales, right? I mean, that's your role as a founder generally. So you're not gonna you can't expect that somebody's going to have that same energy and enthusiasm and knowledge of your products and services and stuff to be able to close deals and confidence and all of that. That being said, I think on the marketing side in particular, what you can find is somebody that can execute on the marketing side probably better than you can, because they are just a full-time marketer. And so if you figured out, let's just say, hey, it's Facebook ads that work, right? And you hire somebody that's just a Facebook ads expert, and that's all they're going to do all day long is sit there and run your ads for you and optimize the test. They're probably going to do a better job than you, simply because they just have the time and focus to be able to do it. So that's
mm,
awesome. So as long as you are, as the founder of the company, keeping the overall marketing vision and setting the overall marketing plan, and then using kind of role players like that for their specific focus and expertise in really dialed in areas, I think that can work really, really well. Um,
that still puts me as the person who's on the phone closing leads and like,
Well,
right?
so right now I'm just talking about the marketing side. On the sales side, if you want to replace um, you as a salesperson, I think there's just kind of two things to consider. So one, that person either answering the phone or following up on the phone. What is the simplest version of that to get to the next step? So you said like setter closer type of thing. So can you narrow that down to a tight script and process where you can say, hey, look, you don't have to be a brilliant salesperson. I just need you to follow the script, ask these questions. If we check enough boxes, we green light it to go to the next step in the sales process. If we don't, we put it on our newsletter and have follow up until they buy or die, right? So as long as you can dial it in to a real set process and a real set script, then that's cool. You can have somebody do that job. And then there's the closer. So the closer could still be you for a period of time, or you can actually, hire a salesperson now whose job it is then to close those deals. And again, just the reality of you're in the small business world. And if you're in the small business world, you are you are and I'm just I'm gonna say this at risk of offending somebody, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but when it comes to sales, if you're really good at sales and you're selling to small businesses, it better be your own damn business, because otherwise there's just not enough upside. Like if I'm working for somebody selling to small businesses, I'm really pretty capped out on how much money I'm going to make. There's not a ton of upside because small businesses don't have a lot of money. So if I'm a salesperson, that's a good salesperson, I'm going to go work for Facebook, Google, all these companies where there's essentially almost no upside to how much money I can make as a salesperson. I mean, I can make millions of dollars a year as a salesperson working for those companies. So if you are hiring somebody to sell to small businesses on your behalf, you just have to expect that it is a quality of salesperson that probably needs some real solid direction, scripts, consistent role playing and practice with them to get them to the point where you feel like, okay, they're pretty damn good. Just, you kind of got to be on top of them, and you're probably going to go through a few before you find one that's pretty dang good. And so there's just expense and overhead in that process. And so it's all doable, but I just bring all that up to set expectations, because I see a lot of people try and do this too early, without a realistic understanding of the fact that it's going to cost probably a decent chunk of change and time to get that right person and have them actually be productive. I mean, if you figure it's a 90-day ramp up to get a salesperson like really humming along, and then in that first 30 days or maybe slightly more, you're having to go through 3 or 4 potential salespeople to find the one that's actually going to last that 90 days and be successful. You're talking about making a $30,000-$50,000 potential investment during that period of time to do that. So
sounds so brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get lucky, and hey, Mike, the first guy found, kind of like your customer success manager. You're kind of like, okay, I just found this guy right away. I knew him, and I got to tell you, when it comes to, let me just give you my best advice also in getting salespeople. The best way to get salespeople is you steal them out in your community. You find somebody who's selling cars, or they're a badass bartender, or they're whatever, and they're good with people. They're good on their feet. They're talking. They're always upselling you. Like I would steal people from restaurants, because I would have a waiter that the waiter that actually did the presentation, offered the appetizers, offered the drinks, offered the dessert at the end, didn't just offer the dessert, brought the dessert tray and showed me the desserts to try and make sure that I, really got, like, that waiter makes like 40% more tips than the rest of the waiters. And they know it. They're money oriented and they do the job. They do the script. So you want to look for those people and just steal them, because top salespeople are not looking for new jobs. Top salespeople are getting stolen. They're getting paid. You want to find somebody that probably is on the early stages of their career. Maybe they don't even know themselves as a salesperson yet. Like I said, they're like a waiter, that type of thing, but they've got those sales skills, and you can tell they've got that money orientation and that hunger. And hey, man, I don't know how much you're making as a waiter, but I bet you we can double it at my business. And you've got what it takes. I could tell, why don't you come give it a shot with me? Like that's the way that I would build that sales team. So all of that being said, that's the way I think about it. I would look for the very specific functional marketing roles for very specific things. Facebook ads, I'd get a Facebook ads person and just have them going crazy on Facebook ads. And then I would have qualification and closing, setter, closer on the sales side, and just.
So you would do setter closer for low ticket then?
Yeah, I would do it. Yeah. But as long as you have the volume of leads, which it sounds like you do with your Facebook ads, as long as you have the volume of leads to make sure that setter can be busy full time with setting, or part time, whatever you hire them for. I mean, maybe you only hire them part time to start. And that salesperson that you hire, you need to train them with the expectations of, hey, when you don't have hot lead flopping in your lap from our marketing, it's your job to be on the phones, calling old leads, following up with people, cold calling if you have to, but we do what we have to do to get it done. So just making sure that they're not a salesperson that expects that hot leads are just going to fall in their lap, or they're going to go play golf.
what do you look for as far as like how much would you pay? I just wasn't expecting that answer because I was thinking more of like a salesperson for low ticket because that's how like the top line pros do it, like the 411 local, all these businesses who sell to small businesses, they usually don't have a setter closer. They usually have just a person who does follow up, and that person, whoever that first point of contact is, also basically takes the payment because it's like $300-400, right? So that's kind of where my mind was. But because if you're doing a setter closer, you're making 2 hires, right? You're not just making one.
I'm sorry. Depending on the price point of your model, yes, you may just want to have somebody who just hops on the phone and closes the deal right away. If it's a lower price point like that, yes.
Yeah, $200 or $300 a month.
I was thinking more of my MSP model where maybe we're getting somebody that's the $497 a month, $697 a month, and we're trying to lock them in for multiple years and things like that. Then
that makes more sense in that regard to have that would make more sense to have a setter close. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, because I was like confused. I was like, I feel like Mike, I feel like this isn't for a $200 or $300 product. I feel like having setter closer is crazy.
No, that is crazy. Yeah, you want somebody that can just hop on the phone and close the deal. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. And then as far as like the payment goes for them, I was thinking like potentially $3,500, $4,000 base, and then maybe $100 per close. Right now, we're closing like anywhere from like 25 to 40 clients a month. So he's looking at an extra $25,000 to $4,000 based on his performance. Is that how you would do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think base plus commission. Yes, that's how I would do it. How you structure that base and how you structure that commission can be dependent on a number of different factors. What you're selling, and is it recurring revenue? Do you want to share into that recurring revenue? Any of that type of thing. And then also, what's the compensation expectations of the market that you're in? Like, where does that person live? That type of thing. I think the way that I have always thought about it, and I would absolutely encourage anybody to think about it, is that anybody who's really, I think, a salesperson by nature, which means that you have a money orientation. Good salespeople want to make money. They're competitive about it. And so that number in my mind is always 6 figures. I mean, if a salesperson can't at least see their way to believing that, yeah, I can make 6 figures at this job, they're going to end up going to another job. At some point, you're going to get them all trained up. They're going to see they can do a good job, and they're going to go, ugh, I can't make enough money here. And they're going to say, it's time for me to take my skills someplace else. So I always model in a spreadsheet. I try and model a realistic scenario where I can say, okay, if this salesperson does what I think that they can do, and they're a top 25% performer, then here's how they can make 6 figures realistically. Like that's my goal in my compensation model. If they're a top 5% performer, I'd love to be able to see them making, 175, grand or something like that. Right. So that's the way I look at it. And so if the model that you just described, you feel like could get them there, then I think that's great. If you feel like, maybe, so here's some ideas. Maybe that model that you just described, it sounds like maybe that gets them to like 70 or 80 grand a year, but maybe you have some sort of performance kicker. Hey, after you've closed 25 deals in a month, that commission goes from 100 to 125. And that's how then you can get to 6 figures, because you can start making that extra income as you close the next 20 deals. You're actually getting extra money and going to get that up to 100. Something like that. Obviously, you've got to know your economics, and you've got to make sure that they make sense for you to do that. But if they don't make sense for you to, here's what I would say: if you try and model that and you find that it doesn't make sense, you've probably got an economic problem at your business. You probably then need to sit down, look at your price points, look at your upsell strategy, things like that, and make sure that there's enough meat on the bone at your business to generate enough cash to go around in some different roles. Otherwise, you're going to feel the impact of this at some point or another. Like you're gonna get stuck because you're not generating enough cash to hire the team that you want to hire to free yourself up, which is what you want to do, right?
That's what I've been doing, but it's like it's obviously a slow process, right? Because you have to do every role yourself first, so you actually know how it all functions. Okay. And then last question, would you think it'd be a man or selling to home service businesses, right? So primarily white men age freaking 30 to like 55. would you do a woman salesperson or a man salesperson? Because I know before for CSM you said woman.
I don't care as long as it's the right person. Both either men or women could do a fantastic job in that role with that market. I think if it's a woman, she's obviously got to be somebody like with a little bit of chutzpah to be able to handle themselves with the contractor dudes, you know.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of women out there like that, and they can crush it in sales if they're that personality. So I think you're just looking for the right person. I don't think the gender really matters.
Got it. Okay. Awesome, man. Thank you. And then when I get my award for Go High Level, are they going to let you take a picture with me on stage, or do I have to just be next to Sean Clark and all them?
You're going to be, thank you so much, but you're going to be next to Sean Clark and stuff, as you should be, but don't worry. I'll be there. We'll get some pics.
God damn, man. I'm going to tell that guy, I'm like, no, dude, I want my Cooch on the stage. He's the reason I'm here,
man. I appreciate you. That's awesome.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. It's definitely a long road to get myself out of the sales and marketing. Cause I know, like you say in all your courses, you know, you're the one who's getting the train, leaving the station and freaking chewing along, you know? So it's definitely the hardest role to replace, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that so now that you have that customer success manager though, you're in a good spot to do it, because like when I started recruiting salespeople, my schedule turned to sales manager. That became my role. It became that every day I was role playing with the team. Every day I'm doing script training, you know, stuff like that, managing their numbers, making sure that they're following process, all that, sitting in on calls. You know, you really just do become a sales manager. And it kind of doesn't stop. I think I've told this story before, but like my top salesperson at my first business, who I love dearly. I mean, this dude's just such a professional and such a stud. And I got so lucky. I mean, this is literally my first salesperson I hired, and he was with me until the very end. Just an incredible guy. But still, I remember we were like 4 years into it, and I decided to come along on a sales pitch with him 4 years into it. And I literally, I got beet red and was like sweating profusely listening to him give the pitch. Because I was like, oh my God, like, what are you saying? Like, this is not our script at all. Like, you are totally butchering this. It like killed me. So, you know, sales manager is it's a full-time job, you know, like being on top of it and continuing to reinforce the right things and all that. So, but you got this, man. It sounds like you're well on your way. I love it.
Can't wait, man. Sounds good. All right, Mike. I appreciate you. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. Bye, guys. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Let's see here. Ananda, I hope I'm saying that right. How are you, sir? Oop, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. How can I help you?
Well, I'm coming up with Zona K on the questions, but I just set up. I'm in the process of setting up my first website in a box customer.
Okay.
And it's taking way longer than I expected.
Yeah.
So obviously, because it's the first time and things like that. So, you know, making sure that the logos are the right size, you know, and also providing the proper information on the website, because you can just chuck the stuff in, but you want it to make sense, like similar to that restaurant website that you showed.
Engine,
you know, they talk to the client base directly, the avatar directly. They are very, very specific. So writing all those things correctly, and then also then looking at it from an SEO perspective, basic SEO, like making sure the alt tags are there and the pictures and stuff like that. I think I've spent more than 48 hours on it at the moment, and it's still only about 60% complete.
Yeah.
Is there I'm not asking for an easy way. It will come through with experience, I believe, as I go forward. But is there a cheat sheet or a step-by-step guide that I could probably go, yep, this one?
I don't know. Honestly, I would have to talk to my team about that and see what they have. So when we initially offered this service, we did it with WordPress sites because we didn't have high-level site builder. And so we developed a whole process around WordPress sites, which is a nightmare, in my opinion, compared to what we can do with high level now. So I have to talk to the team about how that, translates. what I'll make the offer to you if you'd like. If you want to share that document with me, I will give it to my team and have them review it and see what they can add to it to help you.
Yep. Okay.
Because I think that might be faster than like a starting from scratch, trying to have my team say, here's what we do. But everything that you're doing is the right stuff, right? It's digging in, understanding the details, understanding, when you ask for the logo file, we wanted this file type, this size, just like all those things you figure out just by going through a bunch of these. So it sounds like you're on the right track, which is awesome.
Thanks, Mike. I'm based out of Australia, from Brisbane, Australia. So what the couple of challenges there, like if I'm going in at 97, but I'm going in at 97 Australian dollars, not the US dollars, because
Gotcha.
97 US would be about 150 Aussie.
Got it.
So at 97 Australian dollars, but at the same time, if I'm having a Twilio number, it's about $10 or $15 just for the number per month.
Yeah.
In US dollars, right? So then it sort of doubles in Australian dollars. So I'm just trying to figure out how do I price it correctly, because if not, then I'm going to be way behind if I'm going to give them credits for SMSs and emails, and then on top of that, the phone number. And there are some issues with the phone number quality as well, but that will, we'll leave that for now. At the moment, I haven't gotten to that level, but I'll handle that there. Is there a particular way you would probably handle that a bit more better?
I mean, I guess, there's a couple of things. I mean, one, the price sensitivity of the businesses in your market and how the 97 translates or not. And so you can determine, is there room for you to go at a higher price point? That's up to you to decide. But you could just leave the number out of it and just do like an email based, we do an email based lead capture form so that you're starting to get people captured and building their list. But that, as part of the free website, it's email. As part of your upsell package, it's also SMS and chat widget and AI and things like that. So, you can take that approach. I mean, there's no, it's funny because High Level started as such an SMS based platform that a lot of people are just kind of married in their minds to, we have to use the phone number. We have to, you don't. I mean, there's all kinds of marketing solutions and software solutions out there where there's no number given, and there's no call tracking, and there's no any of that. And so you can make that an upsell, and leave that out of the equation if it's going to add too much cost to it. So I guess, kind of just got to use your judgment and go through the features and think, okay, here are the features that I feel like I can offer with my cost structure and my price points here, and make it make sense. Because I know with phone numbers in particular around the world, it's very different, and the cost of SMS and things like that are very different. So, or even the ability to offer SMS, is very different around the world. So, kind of just have to use your judgment there and think about what's gonna deliver the most value at the right cost structure. But it's got to be at the right cost structure. So, don't kill yourself trying to over deliver, and then make it not a viable model for you.
Fair enough. One last question. I'm looking at the local market as my niche in here at the moment. Yep. But then in your trainings, we're talking about creating a website snap template that's you can basically reuse over and over again. That doesn't sort of stack up with, especially with the snapshots and stuff like that, if I'm going at all different industries but within the local market. Is there a better way I could probably do that?
So when you sell just to your local market, the benefit of that is, I think there's some ease to it because it's right there, it's near you, you can go out and make contact with people, you can network, all that type of stuff. The downside of it is, you have to be more flexible typically to the types of businesses that you're going to sell to. I think that in the case of websites, it's still, though, relatively straightforward to say the majority of my customers in my market are going to come from these home services, medical of some sort, chiropractor or whatever, restaurants, salons, whatever, to come up with that handful of them that you are generally going to expect 80% of your business is going to come from those. And then from those, come up with 3 templates for each of them. Just get templates from high level, just stick with what's in there. Don't create anything from scratch. Just keep it simple. And then as you get some experience, you're going to find that, actually 80% of my business is coming from these 2, or I need to add 2 more templates to every one of these. So I have 5 total templates instead of 3. I don't think that there's any real good way around that. I think it's just, you got to make that a little bit extra upfront push to be prepared for multiple types of businesses. I think it just is what it is. That's just the downside of the local focus like that.
Yeah. So those 3 templated sites that we create, do we put that under subdomain, and so that it's easier for us to shoot it out to people and say, have a look at this is what we have created, or this is what we have in mind?
Exactly. Yep. Okay. I put up like a demo web page where you can show a bunch of sites and just say, hey, look, here's examples of what we can build. And then for each of those niches, the first step in the process is choose a template that you like. And so you have a home services first step of that process. You have a restaurant's first step of that process. You're sending them their specific themes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
All right. Let's see here. Shane says, what kind of images are best for Facebook ads? Shane, so my answer to any of this is always test. And I kind of just assume I don't know the answer. And I shouldn't say I assume I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer is really what it is. So what I can tell you is that when I'm launching ads, I am looking for what's currently working in the marketplace. So like if you're tuned in to like Instagram and using sites like that on a regular basis, there's always certain types of images that are doing best. And so I'm kind of looking at what are some of those themes, and I'm looking at what is competition doing that seems to be working well. And I'm looking for ways to then incorporate some of those themes, but also stand out. But what I will say, Shane, is that my process, if you've gone through my Facebook ad testing process, or really any ad, it doesn't matter if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, I test messages first. So I come up with 5 to 10 headline messages. And then once I've found my winner that I'm going to go with, I do the same thing with images. I'll put, 5 up to 10 sometimes, but usually not that many, 5 images. So I'll choose a variety of types of images that I think could do well. And what I love about that process is I'm almost always surprised. I've been doing marketing and sales and entrepreneurship for a long time. And you would think by now I'd be able to pick the winner, like, I don't know, 85, 90% of the time. And I'm almost always wrong. It's a little game I play. Before I launch the ads, I always try and pick the winners. And I'm almost always wrong. So I would much rather see you just test a variety of types of images. I do think that, there are, again, just kind of these common themes that tend to make images pop more. So does it have some sort of bright color that stands out? Does it have something unusual about the image that would catch attention? You can use text on the image to make it really catch attention, draw attention. You can take that headline that was the winner headline and actually put it on the image itself. Like there are some things like that you can kind of aim for best practices in those images, but ultimately test. Okay. Clayton says, so what's the best way to link direct emails I receive into the appropriate opportunity within the pipeline? Clayton, for me, and there are better ways to do this, I'm sure. What I'm typically doing is I'm literally just manually kind of restarting that conversation from within high level. So I'll do just like a good old cut and paste of their email type of thing. So that's not, I'm sure there's better ways to do that, but that's what I'm doing. What are the best niches for mid to high price offers? The best niches for mid to high price offers? I would say probably medical, like elective medical, cosmetic surgery, things like that. I would say a lot of the home services niches where there's more money being spent, like custom remodels, kitchens and things like that, can be very can be some nice higher price offers in those niches. Those are two that jump out to me. I would think potentially in legal, there's probably some room in that, but I don't know. It's interesting because that market, they tend to not really believe in marketing. So I'm not sure, but those are the ones that jump out at me. I have a new client that has 18,000 contacts in their disorganized database. Would you charge them a separate fee to clean this up and import this in? Or is the expectation that this would be included? I mean, if you're going to do, I think you would have to use your judgment on this. And the reason why, what I'm referring to specifically is why you feel like there needs to be some cleanup and what that cleanup is. Because if they've got 18,000 contacts in their database and you can just upload the 18,000 contacts, then probably just upload them. So I'm not sure why you feel that there has to be a cleanup. If you're saying, like, for some reason, yeah, I guess I'm just trying to, when you say a disorganized database, like, what does that mean to you? They have company names and homeowners all in one place and no specific columns. Okay. So you're trying to, yes, I would, if you're going to spend some time on that, I would have some sort of charge for that, unless you're going to be getting paid enough for your services in general that you're just like, hey, this is something normally we charge for because your database is kind of a mess, but tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do this on us, to help just get you started and start seeing success faster. You can use your judgment there. I personally would never spend too much time doing something like this for a customer. Like, this would have to be a pretty quick project for me. Otherwise, I would just say, hey, your database is a mess. Good idea for you to get that cleaned up. Or pay someone on Fiverr or Upwork. It's a great suggestion. Yeah, find somebody that can do it for you cheaply. I will say, so as what I have done in the past is that we subscribed to a huge database marketing service. And when customers would sign up with us, we would populate their database with lists. We would populate their CRM with lists because we found so many of our customers had absolutely no lists, or their lists were complete junk. And so instead of spending time like trying to fix that, we just bought lists and just put them in there. So if we were charging $397 a month to start, we might spend $97 on list data in the first month of that customer just to populate their database. $97 in list data could get you quite a bit of data. And you make this really impressive impression that you did that on their behalf. So, I guess we solved a similar type of problem, but we did it primarily through buying data. I guess I just would really hesitate to spend too much time mucking around with somebody's data unless there is like some real compensation for it and some understanding of why it's important enough to them to pay for that. According to Go High Level Tech Support, there's a plan to allow us to filter opportunities by task due dates. Any insight? I am not aware of. I don't have the answer to either of those questions, Clayton, unfortunately. They sound like great ideas, but I do not. Go High Level is terrible at tasks. It's pretty much useless. I agree with that. I don't use High Level for tasks at all. I do all of my tasks outside of High Level. You don't understand why they're not updating this feature. They will, Clayton. It's they have admittedly been all about new features, for the last 2-3 years. And if you at their summit this year, they made the announcement that their theme here for the next year is really about maturity. It's about how do we mature our existing features and make them really, really, really usable. So that'll happen for sure. Small businesses typically mismanage their data, junk like combining phone numbers with notes or multiple emails in a single field. Yeah. Yep. Oh, awesome. Good. Glad to help. Dawson, my man, you want to come on? How's it going, sir?
Good. How about you?
Good. Where are you at? You traveling or something?
Yeah, I'm at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn.
Nice. I love it. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I met the coordinator today, and she said I could use the desk to work on my business.
Awesome. That's great.
I just talked to the owner too, and I can do some work today, so that's good.
That's great, man. Awesome. You got anything I can help you with?
Well, just an update. Tuesday was the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce meetings, so I went to that. Wednesday was the Niagara Arts Council meetings, and today was the Niagara Tourism Network meetings. So after going that, I have a picture of overall now, and now I can focus in on my specific tasks now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm going, it's called the Misfits Market. I'm going to have some frame photography. I'm going to sell it there. I think it's on the 16th, but it'll be a couple of weeks. I can print out the photos, and then I could have some in-person community stuff, and then use that revenue to reinvest in the business for the digital strategy.
Good, man. I love it. That's awesome. Getting out there and rubbing elbows with people. That's great.
Yeah, and since I've been able to adapt to different places and scenarios, so I can pretty much work anywhere. I remember Richard Branson. He said he doesn't have a dedicated office. He always just does wherever he can. So I've learned how to do that now, and it's kind of like musical chairs. So I'm one place and another.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. I read all of Richard Branson's books, and I was always amazed by that too. He would work off of his houseboat, and wherever he would find it, the roof of the bar he owned, stuff like that, and just anywhere that he had a phone and he could sit and write in his notebook. That was it for him. Never had an office.
So I talked to another hotel sales manager today, and he said I could stop by and have a coffee with him. So it's just a matter of finding places, getting the work done, and doing other things in my life that I can enjoy as well.
Yeah, good for you, man. That's awesome. We'll
so if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have pushed. You help me push to the next level.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, and I'll see you next call.
Okay, sounds good, Dawson. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Peace.
All right, Jason says, what's your perspective on using YouTube to attract local business owners? Jason, I actually think it's an untapped opportunity. I think that there's a lot of potential there. Now, I think because it's YouTube, you're also going to get a lot of traffic from outside a specific geographic area. I think, you could do obviously very targeted advertising on YouTube to local to, a very targeted local market. But I do think it's untapped. Now, I have to say that that's just a theory on my part. I don't have a ton of experience of focusing YouTube just on local. And let me clarify. I'm assuming, Jason, that you are saying that you are attracting people in a specific local market. If you're just using the phrase local business owners as kind of just small business owners anywhere, then I think YouTube is incredible. It's super powerful. If you're saying that you want to target, again, just like a very specific area, I theoretically think it's an untapped opportunity, but it is theoretically. Meredith, is it recommended to supply customers with the lead connector knowledge base as support or white labeled instructions for customers until I create my own? Yeah, you cut me off, Meredith. I was going to say create your own. But I do think so. ConnectID recommended Extendly. Yeah, I think that there's a couple of these that I would look at, like Extendly and HL Pro Tools. I would look at those until you've created your own. And even when you do create your own, you would probably still keep like an Extendly or HL Pro Tools in your repertoire there. I think you would just make sure that you are recording your own videos for the most important features and tasks and things like that you want to help your customers with related to your services. So I think that's like the most important thing, is that, in your onboarding process, let's say, because you're offering these specific services to these specific customers, you have to collect this specific information. Like, you want to record your videos for that, and make sure that they are very specific to your process. You can use Extendly's free videos on, here's how you send an email on high level. Like, you don't need to record your own version of all of those basic things. But make sure that you do record the ones that are really going to impact how they understand how to use your specific service. Okay. Clayton says, awesome. Thanks for your help. Yes, absolutely, Clayton. I use these few features of my old platforms. Yeah. So thank you, Clayton. I appreciate it. And that is exactly, that's exactly the reality, right, Clayton? I used Pipedrive for, I don't know, at least 10 years before moving to high level. So, and does high level still do the things that Pipedrive does in certain instances? No, not nearly as well. But the most important thing to keep in mind, right, is that what high level gives you as an agency is an entirely different economic opportunity, because of their focus on agencies, because of their pricing model, because of the way that they're integrating all of these features, because of the easy ability to jump in and out of sub accounts to manage them. Those are things you can't do with any of the more mature systems, right? So the thing I have kept in mind for 5 years now, and now I don't even have to keep it in mind because it's so easy and so obvious for me, is that it is worth sacrificing some of the conveniences of the perfectly refined bells and whistles for the upside that I'm getting from the platform. That was harder to see 5 years ago. It should be pretty darn clear now. And if not, over the next 6 to 12 months, I think it'll be really, really clear, because I think they are going to just do a lot to really refine the usability of the system and, start adding some of those particular features that you're probably looking for and missing. Absolutely, Jason. Anytime. Absolutely, Meredith. Anytime. Ben, I see you back there. You want to jump on? Awesome. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mike. Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How can I help you?
Good. I could put a question in the chat earlier, but thought I'd hop on here about Boomerang. So I don't know if you have, I signed up under you, did the video courses that you have. I love the strategies, things I had never thought about. So I thought it was really cool.
Cool.
The approach that you suggested there. And
Awesome.
I'm wondering if you have any ongoing group chat or training on that to dive deeper with those.
Interesting. I don't see your question in here. I was just going through. That's the only question I saw. The
Okay.
only thing
Well,
I saw from you was the
so,
thing about the 360. Yeah. So anyway, yes. So are you in our Boomerang group inside of the online community?
I don't think I am. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have that, but the second part of that statement is it's been completely dead from me and my team. We have not made any updates in there since we put our initial training and stuff in. So I am due for that. I know I'm due for that. That's on me. So we will increase the activity over there here, but the group does exist. There is. Do you have access to our bonus training on Boomerang?
I have the training. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there is that group. It's just
Okay.
been, like I said, it's been quiet. I need to step it up.
Cool. All right. No problem. Just thought I'd
Yeah. But
check.
if you just do me a favor, email help@servicesthatscale.com.
Yep.
And my team will make sure we get you in there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll post something in there. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
See ya.
All right. Let's see if there are any other questions. I'll give you a minute or two to fire in any other questions that you have. Go for it. Let me just take a look at our online community real quick. I spent some time in there this morning answering some questions, but let me see if there's anything new that we can address. Oh, Meredith, I see your question in there. Thank you. Foot in the door. Okay. Let's see here. Just watched your most recent YouTube upload. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and share the screen so you can see, because this is a longer one. Let me make sure you've got something to look at here. Says currently I am limited to having the $97 a month plan with high level, and it restricts me to only 3 sub accounts. Can I use and focus on only this one service to start with as a foot in the door service for my sub niche? Will it functionally work by assigning one of my sub accounts to my own business? Then with this sub account, I create and host many websites for many different companies that are all within my chosen sub niche. I'm trying to think down the road and project, but will need to happen the proper functionality. Each of these companies that I build and host website, I will still be able to provide every function of high levels. So no, that would not be the case. No. So yeah. And I don't understand why you can't use, I mean, when you say you're restricted, you're limited to having the 97 a month plan with high level, and it restricts me. When you say you're limited, is that just a financial thing you're saying? I'm assuming, because if it's just a financial thing, then sell a couple of these accounts and just immediately upgrade to the 297 plan, is what I would do. So, as soon as you bring in a sale or two, just immediately upgrade. No, you will need to use one of those agency level, either the agency unlimited or pro. You'll need to use one of those two to be able to offer, to really be able to offer this service and any sort of additional capabilities of high level. I'm trying to think theoretically, could you have multiple domains and multiple websites within the sub account? Yeah, I mean, I guess theoretically you could. I haven't even tried experimenting with that to know what are the limits of like how many domains you could have on that account. And I mean, it would have to be just like a super basic site. Even if it did work with the domains, it would have to be like a super basic site where any lead capture or anything like that would have to be to a third-party tool. The answer is it just doesn't make any damn sense. is the short answer. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like go sell a couple of things and then get the correct account run is what I'm saying. Okay. So let me go back to the group here. A couple more questions it looks like we could address in here. So Tim Pepper, good to see you. Tim Pepper says, go collab and communities groups. Kicking off 2025 and going through the recording of Level Up 24. So much good info. My question today is, I think that creating a community group for certain clients with large customer lists. I have one with 70K email subscribers with 30 to 40% open rates. That's awesome. However, I'm just learning about Go Collab in the communities groups. Yeah. So, okay. So Go Collab, I think of, Tim, as a place where I would want to create a more public facing group. So if for whatever reason I wanted to use that group itself as a marketing tool to attract people to my community, I would put that on Go Collab. If I'm just offering a private community just for my customers, then I would keep that on just high levels community features. Okay, so Go Collab, I would think of that as a more public facing. So, I could launch a group on there, just like I would launch like a Facebook group. If I was going to launch a Facebook group, to me, there's no reason to have a Facebook group anymore unless you are intentionally using it to market, right? Because that's the power of Facebook, is that you're connected to the world. So put your group on there because you want the world to see it and be attracted to it. Otherwise, the Facebook groups kind of suck compared to all of the great features of groups and communities like with High Level or some of the other platforms. So the only reason I'd put a group on Facebook is to attract people to it. Same with Go Collab. It's like a very public facing set of groups and communities. Okay, so that's the way I would think about it. Okay, so if your customer really wants to use it as an attraction tool, then I would consider putting it on Go Collab. Richard says, niche versus complete R4. I've just launched my funnel offering the R4 and following up with an offer of a strategy call. I'm just wondering if during the strategy call, it's best to offer an overview of the complete R4 system and get prospects buying into several linked strategies, e.g. reputation management, missed call, text back, or is it better to build a funnel that promotes just one offer? Okay, the answer, Richard, it's a great question. It's a common question. The answer is yes. So yes, offer the complete system, and yes, build funnels that just promote one aspect and one specific offer. Okay, there are benefits to both. In my opinion, when you are selling a complete system, you want to be talking to the world about the fact that you have a complete system, why you have a complete system, what the benefits are to the customers that you serve of having a complete system that's integrated, right? That since you're selling that, you need to be out in the world about it. You need to be a proponent of it. You need to be selling the benefits of it. At the same time, our brains get hung up oftentimes on complete things with lots of features and whatever, right? It's like, it's just harder and slower for us to process and create more confusion. And so you also want to be marketing specific features, benefits, and functions into a funnel that's specifically designed for those things, because it's easier for our brains to process that stuff and react. Oh, yes, I need more reviews. Boom. Yes, let me respond to that. Get me more reviews. Now, when I'm in either the sales process with you or I'm already a customer using your review specific service, it's much easier for me to now have the conversation where you go, hey, capturing reviews is just one part of an overall marketing system that's really going to help your business go to the next level. Let me tell you about what our complete system looks like. Great. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So you want to do both. And there's that old adage of speak to the conversation that's in their minds, right? And the reality is, in your small business customer base, there's lots of conversations in their minds. There's some consistent themes. I'm not making enough money. I don't have enough time. I can't go on vacation this year like I wanted to without losing my mind because my team, is unreliable. Like every small business owner is saying those three things, right? But there's some percentage of small business owners out there right now, your target customers right now, that just got blasted with bad reviews. And they're like, what the heck do I do to fix this? And so that's on their mind. And so when they see your review service, that's what they're most likely to connect to. There are some percentage of your customers, your ideal customers out there that are sitting around thinking, man, if I could just get more leads, I could crush it. My business is so good. My services are so good, but nobody knows about them. I just need more leads. So that message is going to hit. And there are some customers out there that are sitting around going, I've invested in all of these damn different marketing tools and services, and none of them are working together. I feel like I'm wasting so much money and so much time managing all of them, and I'm not really getting out of them what I should because they're all siloed. And so when they see a message of an integrated system, that's going to resonate with them. So there's all different conversations out there going on in the minds of these prospects. And by selling both the complete system and the specific functionality, you're giving yourself the best opportunity to win. Okay. I hope that helps you. Yeah. That's awesome, Clayton. I love that. Yeah. Pipedrive is great. Does High Level connect with a point of sale system for retail customers? Meredith, there are absolutely all kinds of instances out there where people are connecting High Level to point of sale systems. So the answer generally with High Level is that you can kind of connect to anything. It's a very, very open platform, and High Level strategically wants you to be able to connect to just about everything. So if there is a specific point of sale platform that you are trying to connect with, I would highly recommend that you reach out to High Level and have a conversation and say, hey, we're trying to get these things connected. And they are most likely going to bend over backwards to help you. And I say that, Meredith, not the first level support team. Obviously, the first level support team is there to answer basic support questions. Great thing about High Level is that their team is very accessible. I don't know how they do it. I'm talking at the very senior levels. Everybody's very accessible. So just with a little bit of work, you can work your way to the right conversation, a right person to have the conversation to help you with that. But also by posting in the High Level community, hey, is there anybody out there that's currently connecting with this point of sale system that I could talk to? There's almost certainly somebody out there, given there's tens of thousands of agencies now, there's almost always somebody out there that's already doing it that you could probably buy an integration from, pick their brain, whatever it is. Jonah says, with the R6 snapshot, is there an agency website template for us? If not, any thoughts on what we can use? Jonah, the agency website templates are in the R4. Okay, so I have the R4 and the R6. The R4 is for your sales process as an agency. The R6 is for your service delivery with your customers. Okay, R4 is for you. R6 is for the service delivery with your customers. So you'll find templates in the R4. And of course, you can just find an agency website template in High Level's website templates too. You just go into their website builder. There's an agency, website template in there as well. Okay. 3 domains only on the $97 sub account. Cool. Awesome, everybody. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining me on the call on Thursday, and appreciate some flexibility. As always, I appreciate you being a part of my community, and I appreciate your business and joining me here and asking all the questions. I hope you got some good value out of it. If you are not already, please make sure that you do join our online community so that we can keep in touch there as well. My team and I are in there answering questions in between these calls. So if you are not in there, make sure that you join, and let me get that URL just real quick. It is, let's go ahead and paste it, but it's customer.servicesatscale.com/communities. So right here. And if you are not in that community, please join us there. And we would love to be in touch in between these calls. Again, I know my team just posted the call schedule through, I think, at least March. So you should be able to find the upcoming calls, add them to your calendar. Again, because my travel schedule, they are a bit all over the place here for the next few months. That just kind of is what it is. I appreciate your flexibility, and I will see you on a future call. Okay, have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Get out there, get after it. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.